lights out in my room, following my doom, wallowing gloom as I hear sad songs every afternoon, listening to the man on the moon. Know deep down that I had to move. Only one man who can hand me truth, and his hands are proof when he nailed him through. The tree that was for me was actually given to Jesus, lover of my soul, who saved me from all of my demons. Rolled away the stone and gave me something to believe in. Know he saved my soul even when I am in my feelings.
Testing, testing.
Even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place. Even when I'm not okay, even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place. Anxiety try to come stealing my peace. You fight for me when I feel like I can't think. It's been too long, haven't stopped for a week. But you've been too strong, I know you hold the key. Breaking the cycle, no rinse and repeat. You set a table for me, so I'm gonna trust now. I know you're able to see when I'm in a rough bout. You give me peace and I'm free. You fill my cup now, got more than enough now. I can't hide in your love, wow. Even when I'm not okay, even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place. Even when I'm not okay, even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place. Even when I'm not okay, even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place. Even when I'm not okay, even when you're feeling far away, be my hiding place, be my hiding place.
I said goodbye to my chains when I said hello to your perfect love. I turned my head from my shame when I looked upon the face of love, giving me a reason, giving life a meaning, giving out hope. That's what you do. All I ever needed, all I ever wanted, all that I seek is found in you. You got my
the pendulum had swung to the shadows. I want the world to sing in a native tongue. Maybe we could learn to sing along, to find a way to use our lungs for love and not the shadows. I want the world to sing in a native tongue, to sing it like when we were young, back before the pendulum had swung to the shadows. I want the world to sing in a native tongue. Maybe we could learn to sing along, to find a way to use our lungs for love and not the shadows.
I wasted so much of life out on my own. If you're the way, truth, the life, what more could I want? What more could I want?
Welcome to Zeki Online. This episode is going to start any minute now, but just before we do, a couple of house rules for you guys. If you're under the age of 13, YouTube guidelines state that you have to have an adult watching this video with you. That's their rules and not ours, and so if you're under the age of 13, grab a parent, grab an adult to watch this live stream with you. Rule number 2, we will never ask for any of your personal details on the live comments chat. And so if somebody on the live comments asks for your personal details, don't give them away. We will never ask for your personal details on that live comments section. And rule number 3, the live comments chat is for fun, and so don't be tearing down other people, don't be kind of throwing out abuse to other people, keep your language clean, but have some fun on it. Chat to each other, chat to us as we're live streaming, we'll chat to you as we're live streaming, but use the comments for good and not to tear other people down. But yeah, we're going to start in a couple of minutes.
Hello Zeki Online, it is so good to have you watching live with us again for another week of Zeki Online Lockdown Edition. Guys, you will be glad to know that this is probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, the last ever Lockdown Edition of Zeki Online that we will have to do. Because as if Zeki Online wasn't bad enough, Lockdown Edition has been pretty dire, hasn't it? Not that we've not done a good job, we've done the best that we could, but it's boring. Like, we all want to be here, playing table football, playing table tennis, like hanging out, playing games, but we can't. So we did Zeki Online, which was this cool thing, where a few youth at a time could come in and play some games and get like cream pied in the face, and then another lockdown, and what the flip. But we are hoping out that this will be the last Zeki Online Lockdown Edition. In the comments, if you don't want to see another Lockdown Edition, why don't you just put those little like confetti emojis? You're going to have to scroll for them because they're lame, and I know none of you use them, but they're on my recents because I absolutely love them. Here we go, we've got loads of exclamation marks. We don't technically like the Lockdown Edition version of Zeki, but apparently we really like my little design work that went on over here. Come on. Guys, if you love them, absolutely shocking graphics, let me know. And I can hit you up with the programs that I use to make this terrible, terrible artwork. But let's see what you guys have been up to. I posted a comment asking what you guys have been up to this week. How's your week been? And yeah, I think everyone's had a good week by the looks of it, but some of you are a little bit bored of lockdown now. Abigail's self-isolating. Sorry, Abigail. Hannah, I'm glad that you're having a good inset day. And I'm also glad that you're getting Caleb a present. Caleb, you're getting a present this year, mate. Well done. There you go. Emily agrees. No more lockdown. But there we go. I'm loving all the emojis, mate. You guys have found them all. It's incredible. It took you a while to scroll, but I just clicked on my recent button and there they were. Actually, on the topic of Emily, I know this is the one reason that we don't want Zeki Online Lockdown Edition to continue. It's because I know that you're all bored of just me and Emily hosting, and you want to see like Brandon and Caleb and Michelle and all these different people and Esther and even you guys who have never hosted before. We want to see you guys on camera as well, having some fun. But I know you're bored of just me and Emily. But you don't have Emily tonight. Put your crying faces in the comments. You are stuck with just me, unfortunately. Emily has been a little bit sick this week. Don't worry, she's all good now, but she couldn't go back to work today because you've got to wait 48 hours, haven't you? Which means she also couldn't come tonight because if the school saw her on camera, they'd be like, she's milking it, she's faking it. So she has had a good day in bed today. Sorry, Emily, for calling you out there, but she's literally just been led in bed watching telly all day. It's all good for some, innit? But there we go. There you go, Emily. There's all your little crying faces. Everyone loves it when you're here. So I thought what I would do is go all out this week, okay? I nearly got the smoke machine out, but when I tried it out, it like fogged out all of the cameras, so you couldn't see anything. I was like, that might just ruin the whole night. But that was the extent that I was going to go to make up for Emily not being here. But I went a little bit further instead, so let me just swap mics for you. So I prepared something really cool because I knew Emily wouldn't be here and you guys might be missing out. So let me just go and grab it for you. Let me pan out to the widescreen. Here we go. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. But I made my own Emily. Yes! Guys, in the comments, if you are absolutely loving this Emily figure with the Emily's face, I literally sellotaped it on and I think it looks incredible. Look at that. Let me know in the comments if you think that I should go into artwork. I am a professional artist. We've got a load of highs for you, Emily. So, oh, that's you saying hi to someone else. But there we go. Hannah absolutely loves my artwork there. Esther also loves it. Emerald, I feel like Emerald is actually just dissing me right now. She's just laughing full out on my artwork. Spitting image. I know it's a spitting image. Partly because I printed a picture of her off, so it should be a spitting image. I would hope so. But there we go, we love it. Emily feels like she's really there. Is it not weird watching yourself back, like on the live stream, just seeing your face in the background? There's no difference, there we go. I thought it would be a nice addition to Zeki Online Lockdown Edition, hopefully the final one. And it's a good picture. I picked it really well, actually, because I figured, like, she's actually smiling at me, and that doesn't happen very often. Like, I know you guys will have seen on the live stream when you're watching, but she's usually just, like, mocking me and mocking the things that I'm saying. So this is nice because it's like she's like, "Hey Max, you're funny." But there we go. We've got a lot of like awkward faces. But Caleb agrees that it does make sense, so I'll go with that. He seems like a logical kind of guy. But there we go. And we did go all out again this week with another camera angle for you guys. I figured, why not let them see what I'm seeing? So there it is. This is the screen that I am currently looking at. There's also a camera there, and you can see the side of my face, just so you can see the true size of my nose. Isn't it lovely? But yeah, so this is the content for this week's Zeki Online. We've got Emily sat in the background. We've got funky camera angles, and we nearly had a smoke machine, but not quite. Sorry, guys. But there we go. I tried to make it work. There you go. She's usually laughing at my council estate haircut. Oh, she is. You know what, Caleb? I haven't had my haircut for a while, but I've heard you haven't either, so maybe we should go and get a cool haircut together at the same time. Who reckons Caleb should shave his hair off completely? In the comments, if you want to see Caleb shave his hair off, why don't you let us know? I don't feel like I actually have legal permission to say that if over so many people do it, he has to do it, because I'm not his parent or him, so I can't call it. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it could happen. But it's safe to say I'm not shaving my hair. Oh, you guys, you're all too nice, man. You're all too nice. You don't want to see him cut his hair. Brutal. Oh, he's not allowed at school. Oh, yeah. I forgot you guys have that stupid rule at school now where you can't, like, have a good haircut or, like, a cool haircut anymore because they kick you out. But there we go. Let me know in the comments, actually, if there were no rules in terms of, like, what kind of haircut you could have or what makeup you could wear or what clothes you could wear to school, what would you wear or how would you do your hair for school? If there were no restrictions, if the teachers weren't boring, if school rules weren't boring and you could do what you want, what would you wear to school? I feel like, Emily, what would you wear to school? Oh, Max, I would wear my pyjamas and a dressing gown to school. Oh, wow. I knew it. I called that. There we go. That is what Emily would wear to school, her pyjamas and a dressing gown, if there were no rules. I called it, but let's see in the comments. Get typing. Let me know what you would wear to school or what kind of haircut you would have. Jackie, you would have no problem if there were no rules because you could have whatever colour hair you wanted. But there we go. Emily, she's dissing me again. Right, whoever this person is commenting on the live chat, I know it's not Emily because you're right behind me here and you're smiling at my jokes. But there we go. It would be funny, Esther, you are right. Here we go. Anthony would wear school uniform. You know what? I've not actually had much time to think about this, but if you could wear what you wanted to school, Anthony would actually be like a game changer wearing a school uniform because he'd be the only one. Like, that's revolutionary. So well done, Anthony. Like, that is incredible. Here we go. Caleb, some jeans, a top, a jumper, some shoes. Standard. That's good to know. Emerald would wear oversized jumper and grey joggers. She's going for the comfort there. We like it. Emily, she was literally going to type the PJs. I told you, this is what happens when you get married. Your brains just sink and you know everything that the other person is thinking. Hannah, she'd wear tracksuits and T-shirts. Love it. Comfy again. Abigail, jeans and a T-shirt. Hair down. Ooh, game changer. I like it. There we go. Esther, now she's really like revolutionizing stuff. She's going for blue hair. To be fair, Esther, now you've called that, if you ever have like an extended period of time off school, I want to see your hair blue because you've just called that that's what you want. So we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Hair up in space buns with braids. I'm pretending like I know what all of this stuff is, but to be honest, I'm a boy, and the only haircuts you get is 3 on the back and sides with a fade, or just the same all over, please. And that's basically the haircuts. Maybe like a trim off the ends. That's all boys have. So yeah, we'll just brush past that one. Sure. Oh yeah, Caleb, you make a great point. You're saying that if there wasn't a school uniform, if there were no rules, a school uniform wouldn't be a school uniform because there isn't one. Oh, he's blown my mind. So Anthony, in that case, we want to know, if you were to wear your school uniform, if there wasn't a school uniform, what would you actually be wearing? Because I'm now confused, because it's not a school uniform anymore. But there we go. Jackie's a manager, because she can make the rules, and she can do what she wants. I like it. Guys, if you want to do what you want, and you want to make your own rules, become a manager. You know, like people tell you to work hard at school and listen to the rules and follow the rules at school and get your head down. This is why you do it, so that one day you can be a manager and you can do what you want. YOLO. That's how we do it. Blue highlights, PJs all day. Diet bright pink from Liana. We like that. Why don't you do it anyway, guys? Do it anyway. You don't need to ask your parents. What are they for anyway? I'm joking, sorry. If you're watching, don't listen to a word I just said. Parents have a say about your life until you're 18. But once you're 18, you go dye your hair whatever colour you want. Hannah, pink highlights. Hannah just wants highlights in general by the looks of it. Emerald agrees with Liana. She wants to dye it bright pink. We like it. Let's skip a few. Hey Liana, by the way. I realised she's only just saying hi. Hannah, in Poland they don't wear school uniform. What do you know? That is pretty incredible. And they don't in America either. Wow. Lots of places apparently don't wear school uniform. So tell me this in the comments. What is up with GB? What is up with GB? Why are they so insistent on making us wear stupid clothes to school? What's that about? In the comments, if you're like a politician or you want to be a politician and you have any idea what they're on about and why they keep trying to make us do it, well, not me, because I'm not a kid anymore, but why schools make kids wear silly outfits, then let me know, because I just don't get it. I just don't understand why they have to do it. Like, ain't nothing wrong with my chinos and checkered shirt when I used to be a child. Like, why are you stopping me now? Brutal. Oh, she's nailed it. Oh, I love it. And Hannah agrees. You know what? Who knows what happens, but let's just be glad that we live in a country where there isn't quite like gun war yet. And we actually have a decent environment where hurricanes don't completely ruin our houses. And we have food. Like, I guess GB's all right, really. But here we go. We got a sensible idea from Abigail. School uniforms get you in the mood for schoolwork. See, this is what the teachers used to tell me, and I used to kind of be sat there thinking, you know what? Like, I'd rather be sat in school in my own clothes thinking about the work than sat in school clothes thinking about how I don't want to wear these school clothes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't end up thinking about the work. I just think about how annoying this tie is, like, choking me up. And then that actually is a good reason, you know, to stop bullying. If everyone wears the same, no one can get bullied for their clothes. That is a great point. Or everyone gets bullied for their clothes because they're all wearing the same. It just ends up... What that does, actually, is instead of stopping bullying, it just stops bullying and creates school rivalry. Like, you get one school telling another school that their uniform looks stupid. Like, what do you reckon to that? It's just creating, like, a civil war in our country. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. Fion's never had that problem. Shout out to all the homeschoolers out there. You can wake up whatever time you want. You can wear whatever you want. You can do whatever lessons you want. Well, ish. Whatever lessons your mum tells you you've got to do. But there you go. The perks of homeschooling. We love it. Wear what you want. Rebecca says it helps with the fight against bullying. I feel like, there you go, and a sense of unity and common purpose. There's the serious answer from a teacher. That is the official statement. It's the fight against bullying, and it brings a sense of unity and common purpose. We are all here in this school to become products of the school that you go to. So make sure you go to a good school, guys. But there we go. Emerald. No, it just makes me want to sleep more. Emerald, do you just wear your uniform to bed? Like, you're like, oh, I can't sleep tonight. Let me put my uniform on and see if that helps. Like, on what planet does a uniform help you sleep? I don't know about that, mate. But yeah, you're right. They're very uncomfortable. I feel like there's many reasons, but there we go. I feel like it's definitely about anti-bullying. Probably about unity, and also to get you in the mood for work. I feel like that's the conclusion we're going to get on that topic. But tonight, that wasn't even what I was going to talk about, but when Emily's not here, or when super duper quiet Emily is here, she doesn't tame me, so I can just waffle on forever. But the real issue that I want to talk about tonight is this. Christmas decorations. Guys, in the comments, I need you to let me know when is the appropriate time to put up your Christmas decorations. Like, when is the appropriate time to start putting them up? Because I just don't understand. And while you get typing, let me just give you some shout outs. Here's this school rivalry. Here we go. It's happening, mate. It's happening. School rivalry is going on. Esther, she thinks that tomorrow is the appropriate time to put up Christmas decorations. The 28th of November. There you have it. The official date to put up your Christmas decorations is the 28th of November. I assume what you actually mean is the nearest Saturday to the 1st. We'll go with that one. Emerald, people put the Christmas decorations up in October. You know what they did? I work in a Starbucks, right? And loads of the customers are telling me they're so bored of lockdown that they put their Christmas trees up like so early, like the end of October, halfway through October. Purely because no one's going to come around the house to see it, so it doesn't matter. And it is something to do, I guess. 31st of November is the right time, Anthony reckons, so it's ready for the 1st of December. Emily, 1st of December all the way. So the second it hits December, go for it. Liana, December the 12th. And you know what? Loads of you guys in the comments, you're going to be like shaming Liana. I'm sure you are, because you're like, let's make the most out of Christmas. We like the decorations. Woo! But you know what? There is like 12 days of Christmas. 12 days. Why are we putting it up like halfway through October? It's not like the 2.5 months of Christmas. It's the 12 days. So that makes sense, because it's like 12 days-ish before Christmas. But there we go. We've got people agreeing, and Liana says thank you, so happy days. I'd probably say March. Honestly, my mum wouldn't let me though, or would let me though. My mum would let me though. I think she meant wouldn't. But March is a disgrace, to be honest, to put up your Christmas tree. I don't think that's all right. I think you're just a disgrace to mankind in general, unless you're planting it, because it probably takes a bit long to grow. But there we go. Oh no! Oh no, Anthony. He has shamed me big time, guys. He has shamed me big time. He's had me thinking that the 31st of November is the best time to put up a Christmas tree, and I just went along with it because I don't know my days. And, well, there isn't one, so 1-0 Anthony, 1-0 Anthony, 0 Max. There we go. But schools break up 3 days before Christmas. They do. It is a bit sad, but I'll tell you why that is, Emerald. It's because it's all about the new year, you know what I'm saying? Like, Christmas Day, yeah, that's all right. But if you had the holiday too early, then the holidays are finished, like Boxing Day, and then what you're going to do on New Year's, you'd be sleeping at like 1 a.m. after you've like had your party poppers and all that jazz, and then you'd have to get up for school at like 7 or 7:30 or 8, whatever time you get up at, and nobody doing that, so then no one will get up for school, so they got to put it that close to Christmas. On the 300th day of Christmas, someone gave to me, fill in the blanks of Anthony's statement. I feel like that's the statement for those of you who don't have a true love. Who are you going to put in the gap? On the 300th, I can't even say 300. On the 300th day of Christmas, my parents gave to me absolutely nothing, because it's no longer Christmas. There it is. 30 days in September, November, April, June. All the rest are 31, except February. Hold on, let me just go and grab my notepad, because I genuinely don't know how many days are in each month. Like, that's actually been a massive struggle of mine since I was a kid, so I should probably write that down, to be fair. But there we go. All right, enough of this topic of Christmas. And actually, let's go to this thing about how many days are in each month, because I want to play a game. Is that all right with you guys? If you want to play a game tonight, if you want to get involved, if you want to potentially win a prize, maybe, if I can think of a prize and get it to your house during lockdown, then put in your party popper emojis again in the comments. Because, you know, basically my aim really tonight is just to get the party popper emoji to your number 1 on the recents. But if you want to play a game, get writing in the comments with your party popper emojis, because we are going to do just that. There we go. Woo! Game! They love it. Absolutely love it, mate. Prize equals respect. There you go. It used to be you earned respect from being a solid guy. Nowadays, mate, you give people prizes and they respect you. That's how it works. Right, let me just take my coat off because it's getting sweaty in here. It's live stream, mate. It's getting heated. Getting ready for the Whoa. Emily's looking at me. Turn around. Turn around. There we go. All right. So, tonight, the game that we are going to play is this. The riddle game. And essentially, super easy. I'm going to tell you a riddle, and you guys have to guess the answer in the comments. I didn't think about the delay. I know there's a stupid delay, but that's fine. We can just listen to these sound tunes while we're waiting for you guys to comment. But that's what we're going to do. And congratulations, Liana, for finding that. I know you couldn't find it for a while, but there we go. There we go. We're down. We are down for the game. So, let's turn the music down a little bit. I'm going to tell you a riddle. Here's the practice question, because I think it's pretty easy. And it relates to how many days there are in each month, so you'll be pleased to know. I need you guys to answer the riddle in the comments. First person to get it right gets a point or something, and I'll try and remember them in my tiny, tiny, tiny brain. But here we go. Some months have 30 days. Some months have 31 days. How many have 28? That's the riddle. Easy peasy. Some months have 30 days, some months have 31 days. How many have 28 days? You guys, all you probably need to do is scroll. There's Emerald's answer, 1. Unfortunately, Emerald, you are incorrect. Jackie, you are also incorrect. Everyone who said 1 month, you are incorrect because it is actually 12. All 12 months of the year have 28 days in them. Woo! Well done, all of you. I told you this was a riddle. It's not going to be that simple, is it? But good commenting, by the way. So I didn't say how many only have 28, just how many have 28, and that's all of them. So let's have a see who got the answer right first off. I believe it was... Here's the thing. Abigail wrote the answer first, correct, but she put vol. Are we going to count that? Because we all know that she tried to say all, but technically Caleb was the first person to say all of them. Who knows? I'm not really sure about that. But I feel like we'll give that to Abigail purely because it's hard to type. So Abigail, you've got 1 point. Remember that. Next riddle. You live in a 1-story house made entirely of red wood. What colour would the stairs be? So you live in a 1-story house made of entirely red wood. What colour would the stairs be? Get comment in. First person to get it right gets a point. Well done, Anthony. He is the first person in there. No, the stairs are not red for all of you who put red. Sorry, Hannah. Sorry to shame you like that. But Anthony, you also have a point. There are no stairs. It is a 1-story house. Unlucky to everyone who put colours. Well done to everybody who put there aren't any stairs. Correct. Well played. Okay. Are you ready for another riddle? Let me just take that comment off. There we go. Caleb's device isn't working. Oh, Caleb's making up excuses for being too slow at the game. Boo. Sorry, Caleb, but no points for you tonight because you don't have a device that works. That's how the cookie crumbles, my friend. Okay, next riddle. There was a boy at a carnival, okay, so that's a fair. And he went to this booth, and there was a guy running the stall, or the booth. And he said, if I write your exact weight on this piece of paper, then you have to give me a tenner. But if I get the wrong weight on the piece of paper, then I give you a tenner. So the boy looks around. He doesn't see any scales. He doesn't see any weights anywhere. There is definitely zero way that the man can actually weigh the boy. And so the boy thinks to himself, yeah, I'll do that game because even if he gets it right, I'll just lie and tell him that I'm a different weight, okay? It turns out that the man ends up getting the £10 from the boy. I need you guys to tell me how he did it. How did he do it? So there's a fair or a stall where a guy has to write down somebody's exact weight on a piece of paper. And if he gets it, they have to give him a tenner. But there's no scales or anything. How did he end up getting a tenner? I know that some people are going to be commenting like, oh, he mugged the boy. That didn't happen. Didn't happen. Okay. Abigail, your correct weight. Nearly there. Caleb, also your correct weight. Also nearly there. Abigail, he writes it down. He does write it down. But it's not there. Anthony. Oh. Caleb, you're so close. He gets so close every time, doesn't he? Like, now he's on somebody's exact weight. Anthony has nailed it right on the head. He wrote on the piece of paper your exact weight, because at the start, what he said he was going to do is write your exact weight on the piece of paper. And that's exactly what he did. So there we go. Emily, I knew you'd be that person. Don't be that guy. He robbed him. Wow. So there you go. Anthony, you have 2 points. Abigail, you have 1 point. I feel like Caleb and Abigail will give you both half a point because they were pretty good answers and they were super close. And to be honest, it was probably half my wording that confused you. So keep a tally of your points. Anthony's on 2, Abigail's 1.5, Caleb's half. Guys, if you have no points so far, you need to get commenting super quick. Like, get quicker at these riddles because there is a sick prize up for grabs, which I am yet to work out what it is going to be. But I just know it's going to be good. Okay. Next riddle. Here we go. This riddle is called the Mustard Family. Mr. and Mrs. Mustard have 6 daughters, and each daughter has 1 brother. How many people are in the Mustard family? So I need you to tell me how many people are in the Mustard family. Mr. and Mrs. Mustard have 6 daughters, and each daughter has 1 brother. How many people? Get commenting. Yes, I am earning Anthony's respect right now. Caleb has put 9. And Caleb, you are in fact correct. Well done. Caleb's on 1.5, Abigail's on 1.5, and Anthony is on 2. Anthony, you were super close. Well done. Well done, Hannah, for also getting it right. I know you weren't first, but I'm going to shout you out anyway if you get the answer right. To a certain extent. Some of you are probably just copying each other, but that's all right. Well done, Emerald, for also getting the answer right. And Fion, although I'm going to take that shout out away from you, Fion, because you changed your mind and it was wrong. Ha, ha, ha. Well done, Jackie. Well done, Emily. Anthony's changed it, and Anthony's on 3. He's probably right. If I ain't counting, so we'll go with that. I just know he's winning. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but this is why you get your head down at school and you wear your uniform, because otherwise you can't count who's on how many points. But I do know that Anthony's definitely winning. How many points he's on, I am not sure. It's either 2 or 3, but let's go with that. Okay, next riddle. What has 6 faces but does not wear makeup and has 21 eyes but can't see? What has 6 faces but doesn't wear makeup? That's probably men, generally. But also 21 eyes, not men, but cannot see. Abigail is the first one in there with dice. Caleb's being fancy with cube. Liana, you were so close, mate. You got it right, but you are just out there, my friend, because Abigail has snatched it. Abigail, you are on 2.5, I believe. There we go. Emily's shouting you out for how quick you've done it. Everyone else has also put dice. Well done to all of you. You just need to get better at typing. Although, I think it's probably a good thing that you're slow, because it means you're not that young person who just spends their life on their phone, because there's a world out there to see. So Abigail, spend less time on your phone, mate. It's funny, because I feel like she's the person who doesn't really spend any time on her phone, yet she's so fast at typing. Like, what's that about? There we go. Next riddle. Okay. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. And I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? I'm not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? We've got a lot of people putting trees. Can I just say, water doesn't kill trees. Well, if you put too much water on a tree, maybe, but it doesn't. So unlucky to everyone who put tree. It is an almost good shout. Anthony is first again, keeping his lead with fire. Fire is the correct answer. Abigail has changed her mind also. Unlucky Abigail, you were nearly in there quick enough. And then I think pretty much everyone else read the comments and thought, oh, nah, tree was a stupid answer. Let's start writing fire quick. So there you go. Unlucky for all of you tree lovers and tree huggers, but the answer was fire, so you are incorrect. Well done, Anthony, for getting there super fast. And can I just pick up on this comment from Anthony, wherever it is? Die is the correct plural, so I would say to you, Anthony, so that's irrelevant because only one dice still has that many thingies, eyes and faces, so we don't mind whether it's plural or not because it's only one dice. Okay, next riddle. But you are winning, so fair enough. I'll allow it. Here we go. This one's another weird family one that you've got to get your head around, so listen carefully. Oh my gosh, even Emily's listening carefully. Look at that. Oh, no, that's backwards. Wait, turn around. There you go. Water through a tree, not a tree. I don't understand your comments now. Let me just go to the next riddle because you're confusing me, guys. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the last one. So, Abigail, basically, you have to get this first. Otherwise, Anthony wins. If you get it first, I feel like Anthony probably still wins. But there you go. At least you'll narrow down the lead. If somebody else wins it, fair play for winning a first point, which doesn't really matter for anything, but just well done. Here we go. 2 fathers and 2 sons went fishing one day. They were there the whole day and only caught 3 fish. One father said, "That is enough for all of us. We will have 1 fish each." How is that possible? So it's 2 fathers and 2 sons who went fishing. They were there the whole day and only caught 3 fish. One father said, "That is enough for all of us. We will have 1 fish each." How is it possible? Get comments in. Here we go. Alright, mum. Stepdad's grandfather. Alright. So, Caleb, you're close, mate, but you've actually just written them all separately, so it doesn't count. If you'd have just written them all in one paragraph, you would have won. But shout out to Liana, who was the first in there. It was dad, granddad, and a son. Obviously, the dad and the son are both sons, and the granddad and the dad are both fathers. That means there's 2 fathers and 2 sons, but only 3 people, so 3 fish can feed everyone. Well done, Liana, for getting there. It was a pointless answer because you have gained yourself nothing other than to beat everyone else who got 0 points. So we'll give you a shout out anyway. Fair play. And you stopped Anthony from absolutely storming ahead, so well played. There it is, Caleb's late answer. GG, Anthony, mate. Pride comes before a fall. Don't boast it. But well done. Emerald shouting out a sister for getting 1 question right. Well played. I love that. You know that moment in lesson where, like, you actually have no idea for any of the answers, but you get 1 right, and all of your crews, they're looking at you like, yeah, well played. That's that moment right there. So there we go. But overall, well done, Anthony. You have absolutely smashed it. We will find out some kind of prize for you, which will be decent, I am sure. Maybe let us know what kind of thing you like, and we'll try and suit it to you. But there we go. We will make sure you get a prize of some sort for being the riddle master as well as the dad joke master, so fair play. Okay, we are going to go over to watching a quick video now. So in the comments, if you're enjoying these kind of videos, let us know, and we will post links and more stuff on our socials. But there you go.
Searching, your love was never far. You made a way to get to me. You were the whisper leading me to your heart. Forever I belong to you. believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you never change your love. Won't let me down. Love won't let me. You listen as I pray. You leave the 99 for me. You paint the sky with promises of your grace. So I will find my way to you. Now I can see clearly, my God, you for me. You won't let go. Your love won't let me down. And I know it's true. Yeah, I know that your love is all around. I believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you never change your love. Won't let me down. Love won't let me. Holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you'll never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me.
Awesome. How many of you loved that song, especially the music video, actually, like with all the hippies and random like throwback outfits? I was enjoying that thoroughly. And to be fair, they're not actually throwback nowadays, because you see people in like full on like tracksuits anyway. But there we go. If you enjoyed that, guys, let us know in the comments, and we will get more stuff like it. If there's a type of music that you really like and you want to hear more of, which we don't play, because I know we play the same kind of stuff over and over. So let us know what kind of music you're into as well, and we will try and make that available one week too. But yeah, everyone seems to have loved it, so shabba dabba. But we are continuing this week with our G series. There it is, the little boy who looks like the Home Alone moment, except I couldn't because of copyright, so it's a random child going, ah, jeez. But we are carrying on with our G series. For those of you who have just joined in, or you joined in a few weeks ago, and you haven't quite caught up and you don't really know what this G's thing is all about, let me just recap for you. So we've been looking at this thing called G's. You know that moment in your life where maybe something goes wrong, or something scares you, or something's unexpected, and you have that reaction which is like, geez, or sometimes it's like, oh my God. And we looked at that, and in the first ever episode of Zeki Online episode of G's, we looked at this concept and about why is it that our automatic go-to is like geez, which is short for Jesus, or oh my God, which mentions God. Like, why is that? And so we discovered through reading the Bible, which is a book of loads of people's experiences of God, that the reason that that's a natural reaction for us is because we were created to be in a relationship with God. And so this is where this G-series idea came from, and this concept that we're created to be with God. But along the way, human sin, which is their selfishness, or that moment where you leave God out of the bigger picture, it's not necessarily just doing bad stuff, but actually it's living without God in your life, or without kind of obeying or doing the stuff that he says. Those moments where we have sin separated us from God, okay? And so now we're separated from God, and so our natural response in those moments where, oh, what else shall we do? Like, I've tried everything, I don't know what else I'm going to do, is to say, oh my God. And it would be a natural response because we were created to be in a relationship with him. And so that's what we discovered in the first ever episode of our G series. But over the last couple of months, we've been looking at who is Jesus. And we discovered that Jesus is God in human form. So God came down to earth as a human, which is super cool. Why did he do that? I gave you a quick sneak preview, or almost just a little shout out or mention that Jesus came to fix that separation that we have with God, and he did something super awesome to fix or to solve that problem of sin or selfishness so that we could once again be in relationship with God. And so I gave you a sneak preview, but we've really been focusing on who Jesus is in terms of his character, and that was really important because I said that even if there was a solution to having a relationship with God, even if we could have a relationship with God, if we didn't know what God was like, then we wouldn't see the need to fix that relationship, if that makes sense. Like, what's the point in fixing a relationship with God if I don't know what he's like? And so we've looked at Jesus, because if Jesus is human God, then Jesus reveals to us who God is, which is really important, because I think that when we see who God is, it makes us realize why it's important that we have a relationship with him. And so we've looked at some really cool stuff, but one of my highlights really was that God cares for you, but not only does he care for you and help you out, but he also has been through everything that you have been through. He came to earth and made himself a human, so he would go through all the different struggles that we go through. He would go through all the different temptations that we go through. Every kind of thing that we could possibly think of is not new for God, because Jesus was God on earth and he's been through it. Jesus struggled. Jesus was tempted. The Bible says that, and maybe we'll look at some of those stories another time. But it's really important for us to know that, because the fact that God has been through everything, he knows everything, means that because he cares for us, he's willing to help, but because he's been through that stuff, he can help. And he can offer advice, and he can do that stuff. And we've looked at loads more things about the character of God, and if you want to find some of that stuff out, then look at some of our previous G-series episodes. That includes the lockdown editions as well, which G's isn't in the title of. But we've been looking at who God is. And so I think, I don't know about you guys, get in the comments if you agree, but I think I've realized why I need to have a relationship with God. By seeing how amazing he is, I've realized why it's so important that I have that relationship with him. There we go. We've got a shout out for G's. But yeah, and so tonight we're going to move on, because we know why it's important to have a relationship with God or Jesus. But how is that possible? We're going to look at this moment in the Bible where Jesus dies on the cross. And you'll know the Easter story, some of you will. If you don't, then we'll explain it to you here. But Jesus dies on the cross because he's perfect. He never sinned. He never did anything selfish. He never kind of left God out of the picture. He was a perfect sacrifice to forgive all of us for our sin. And so Jesus dies on the cross to make that possible, so that we can have a relationship with God again if we accept Jesus and say, yeah, you know what, I want to follow in Jesus' footsteps. And so instead of me chatting at you all night, because I've talked a lot, and I'm sure you're bored of me. I know Emily behind me is super bored of me. But we're going to watch a video here, and it just explains a little bit about the cross, a little bit about why Jesus did what he did on the cross, and what that means for us as well. So yeah, let's just watch that super quick video.
The cross shows us that God loves this world, that he loves you. And it shows us that he's done something about the problem of sin. He didn't ignore the problem or say, you know what, it's not that bad, don't worry about it. No, God came to earth in the person of his son Jesus to deal with it personally.
Jesus' death on the cross is God's solution to the problem of sin.
One of Jesus' closest friends called Peter put it like this. He said, he himself, talking about Jesus, bore our sins in his body. By his wounds, you've been healed.
In other words, because Jesus was wounded, we can be healed. He took the consequences of our sin on himself. It's been described as the self-substitution of God. God substituted himself for you. Jesus died in your place. On the 31st of July, 1941, sirens rang out from cell block 14 in Auschwitz concentration camp because a prisoner had escaped. As punishment, the prison guards selected 10 random men to die in a starvation bunker. The 9th man selected was a man called Francis Gajewniczek. And when he was chosen, he cried out, "My wife, my children, I'll never see them again." At that moment, another man stepped forward and offered to die in his place. And to everyone's amazement, his offer was accepted. That man was a Catholic priest named Maximilian Kolbe. And he was taken with the other 9 to the starvation bunker. 15 days later, they were still alive. So on that day, August 14th, 1941, they were killed by lethal injection. 41 years later, on the 10th of October, 1982, the death of Maximilian Kolbe was put in its proper perspective. In St. Peter's Square, Rome, in front of a crowd of 150,000 people, Pope John Paul II described Maximilian Kolbe's death in these terms. He said, "It was a victory, like that won by our Lord Jesus Christ."
Being executed on a cross was the height of pain. Yet the New Testament doesn't focus on the physical suffering of Jesus too much, but instead it focuses on his spiritual suffering as he carried the weight of our sin. I heard it explained like this. Let this hand represent you and me, your life and my life. And let this book represent the things that we do wrong, the sin that causes a barrier between us and God. Now let this hand represent Jesus. Jesus didn't do anything wrong. He lived a sinless life, so there's no barrier between him and his heavenly Father. There's a verse in the Old Testament that prophesies the death of Jesus, and it says, "We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way." And then it says, "The Lord has laid on him," on Jesus, "the iniquity of us all." On the cross, Jesus was carrying your sin and my sin. So do you see where that leaves us? Free to have a relationship with God.
The results of the cross are amazing. The cross and resurrection are really like one event. And it's like a beautiful diamond. It has different facets.
Or I like to see it like a beautiful onion because of the different layers of meaning.
A beautiful onion?
Yeah.
Like
the
we're talking
vegetable.
about something beautiful. Onions aren't beautiful. Diamonds are beautiful. People love diamonds.
People love onions, Ben. We're trying to describe
in a
all the
different-
different angles and perspectives and layers to the cross. I just thought
Right.
onion, diamond, they both capture
Are you
it.
okay if we just, like facets though? I think.
I'm totally, if you, I mean, just as long
Yeah,
as we're agreed that they're
okay, good.
equal quality analogies. Onion, diamond, same diff to me.
Okay. Well, so I'll go diamond then.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. I feel good about that. Okay. When a diamond hits the light a certain way, you see it one way. And when it hits the light another way, you see another part of its beauty. When we think of all that Jesus has done on the cross, it reveals so much.
First, it reveals how much God loves you and how precious you are to him. You never have to feel insignificant or worthless because the cross reminds us just how valuable we are to God.
And the cross speaks to suffering too. It shows us that God isn't far away, sitting on a cloud somewhere and watching all the suffering down here. No. Through Jesus, he came into our world to suffer for us. And now he suffers alongside us.
The cross also tells us that the powers of evil have been defeated. And the resurrection tells us that the story ultimately ends well.
Because of the cross, the penalty of sin has been paid. Our guilt has been removed. The debt that we owed was paid for us.
There once were two little boys who were best friends. They played together, went to school together, they even went to university together. They were inseparable, until their careers took them in very different directions. One became a lawyer, the other a criminal. As one was promoted to a judge, the other disappeared deeper and deeper into a life of crime. Eventually, the criminal was caught and sent to trial. On the fateful day in the courtroom, he came face to face with his old best friend, the judge. And so, the judge had a dilemma. He loved his friend, but he had to do justice. And so, he fined him the appropriate penalty for the offence. It was a huge fine. There was no way he could ever afford to pay what he owed. But then, the judge took off his robes, went down, stood with his friend, and wrote out a check covering the cost. He paid the penalty himself.
What Jesus has done for us is even more amazing than what the judge did for his friend. The debt was way bigger. It was our debt of sin. And the love that he demonstrated was far greater because it cost him his life. And the result, even better. It's total forgiveness made available to you and to me.
Forgiveness.
Basically accepting one another for everything, flaws and all.
I guess letting bygones be bygones, you know? When you're willing to let something go when someone made a mistake in the past.
Forgiveness is a second chance.
It's a second chance.
Or third or fourth.
It's really just getting past what issue you guys had, you know, whether it be between you and somebody else or you and yourself, because a lot of people are tough on themselves and it's hard to forgive, but it's totally letting go and, you know, moving forward.
I'm not religious, but I feel like God's forgiveness is a way for people to let go of their wrongdoings or forgive themselves and move on with life.
It means love and sacrifice.
Complete freedom.
Refreshment and new life.
It is someone stepping on your white trainers and you can say, I'm sorry. And the person says, don't worry, you're forgiven. That is forgiveness.
Awesome. So let's just take a moment to pause that quick video clip and just discuss what does forgiveness mean to you guys. Because we've had loads of cool answers from those trendy hipsters on the streets of America. But actually, we want it to be real for you guys too. So what does forgiveness mean to you? So let's have a little look at what you guys have posted. Abigail, where you're able to start afresh. I like that. It's not just like somebody saying sorry and you're accepting it, but you're able to start afresh too. That's cool. Emerald, moving on. Anthony, the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. Onions. I love that bit. Like, who loved that bit in the comments? Like, let me know. Like, what a guy. I would be the onion guy. Like, stuffed diamonds. Like, onions have layers, you know. So do ogres, by the way. Shout out to that movie. Someone or you moving on from an event? Yeah. We've got a lot of similar themes. That's pretty cool. Pretty summed up by the video, yeah. Well done, Caleb. We love that. Esther, forgetting and leaving stuff behind. And Emily and cake. Apparently forgiveness means cake to Emily. No, complete silence from the audience. Cool, so most of you agree that the video sums up forgiveness pretty well. And so the video says that because Jesus died on the cross, we are forgiven. Okay, and let's see what the impact of that is. Let's watch the very last bit of that video and see what the impact of us being forgiven means for us.
The reality of the cross has the power to change us. It helps us leave behind bad habits and experience new freedom in our lives. Before I was a Christian, I used to have so many negative thoughts about myself that had run through my mind. As a result, I felt insecure, I pushed people away, and ultimately I was unhappy. But when I began a relationship with Jesus, so many of those thoughts, they disappeared. The power they had in my life was broken. And in a similar way, when my friend Chris encountered Jesus, his addiction to drugs was instantly broken. He was set free. Now here's the thing. It's not always like this. Change is a journey. It's long-term. Some things might change overnight, but a lot of the change we're talking about happens over time.
Jesus said, if the Son sets you free, if he sets you free, you will be free. That means that we can experience freedom from the grip of sin and see transformation in our lives. The power of sin has been broken, and the pollution of sin has been cleansed. John writes that the blood of Jesus cleanses us from all sin.
When I realized that I'd been forgiven by God, it helped me to forgive others too. All of us have been hurt at some point in our lives, and that hurt stays with us, often leaving us bitter or even angry. But when we experience God's forgiveness, it makes it possible for us to let go of that anger and bitterness and to forgive others.
In 2 Corinthians, it says, God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself. The cross wasn't God punishing an innocent third party. God himself came to die for you and for me. Ultimately, because of the cross, we have been reconciled to God. The partition of sin has been removed. Jesus told a story about a prodigal son. The son leaves home, breaking his relationship with his father. After wasting the family money, he finds himself with nothing, alone, empty, and convinced that he had wrecked his relationship with his dad forever. Reaching the point of desperation, the son decides to return home, with a small hope that he might be able to earn a wage working for his father's business. As he's coming home and is still a long way off, the father sees his son, and instead of waiting for his son to come to him, the father goes out to meet his boy, stretching out his arms, welcoming him home with a huge hug, fully accepted as his son.
And this story is for you. No matter what you've done, when you come home, when you come to God, he runs to you and he embraces you. God loves you. Jesus died for you. And through the cross, we're invited to have a relationship with God. And when I understood all of this, when I experienced this, it totally transformed my life. And it can totally transform yours too.
Awesome, yeah. So right there, it's just summed up really nicely that God created us to be in relationship with him. We looked at that a few weeks ago, but this thing called sin or selfishness, us leaving God out of stuff, kind of got in the way and meant that we couldn't have a relationship with God. And so over the last couple of months, we've seen why having a relationship with God is so cool. And just because he can help us out, he's a good friend, he cares about us, and all that different stuff. Go and check out some of the previous episodes if you want to know that stuff. But in this episode, Jesus didn't just come to show us who God was in person, but he came to fix that gap that we had between us and God. He came to fix the separation and solve the problem by dying on the cross for us. And that means that we can have a relationship with God, which is super cool. I have a relationship with God, and I would thoroughly recommend it. You know what? Like, it is the most thrilling adventure that you could go on. God has such a purpose for your life. There's not a boring day when you're in relationship with God. Yeah, there's times where it's tough. Yeah, there's times where you struggle because we're still on earth. We're still surrounded by humans and other humans who sin and do stupid stuff. But with God, it is so much easier and so much better. And so, yeah, just a shout out to God, really. But Jesus came to earth to show us who God was and to fix that separation. And tonight, you can have that. You can have a relationship with God. And you simply just have to choose to believe and to follow Jesus. And if that's you tonight, I'm not going to go into detail because we've gone over time a little bit already. But if you want to know how to do that, what it means to follow Jesus exactly, how you can have that relationship with God, then why don't you get in touch? Just down here, there is a DM tag for Instagram, or you can send us an email and just say that you're interested. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to say, you know what, yeah, right now I want to be a Christian, or I want to follow Jesus, or I want to have a relationship with God. But it just can be a, you know what, I want to know more about that. Get in touch if you want to know more. Just contact us down there, and we'll be happy just to share more with you. But that is the message tonight, that God cares for you. One, he wants to have a relationship with you, and he made it possible to have a relationship with us. So that is summing up our G series. Guys, how have you found our G series? Let us know if you've enjoyed it. Let us know if you want any particular topics covered in the future. Next week for Zeki Online, we will move on for a different subject. But that is the end for our G series. There you go. Bam. The comments have gone quiet. I love it. You know it's the serious bit in the talk when the comments just go absolutely dead, don't you? But maybe it's because loads of people left because it's already late. There we go. Emily loved it. I don't know if she's on about that talk or that series or if she's on about Shrek, but who knows. There you go. Abigail loved it. Hannah's crying because it's the end of our G series. Oh no. Jackie thinks it's great to know that we have been forgiven. Guys, if you don't feel comfortable talking to me either, why don't you hit up Jackie? Again, if you send a message to the Zeki Instagram or email and specifically ask for Jackie, like she also is a Christian and believes in Jesus and has followed him, so she can tell you more as well. And any of our leaders will be more than happy to tell you what it means. There we go. Hannah says it's been a great series. We've all loved learning more about the big JC. We love it. So there we go, guys. That is the end of our G series, and it is also the end of Zeki Online for tonight. But we will be back next week at 7 p.m. With a new series, with new content, with new discussions. Probably not about Christmas trees, but I assume by then most of you, except Liana, will already have their Christmas trees up, which will be cool. Say bye to Emily, guys. Bye. There we go. Emily, say bye to everyone else.
Hey everyone, I'm going home to put my pajamas and dressing gown on now.
There you go. Emily loves her pajamas and dressing gown. That's all she ever wears. Not now though. She's got a nice little like checkered thing on and straw arms. That's how thin her arms actually are. So we zero muscle. But guys, it has been an absolute pleasure as always, and we will see you very, very soon. If you're plugged into a small group, then keep an eye out for that this week, and we will hope to meet on Zoom or hopefully in person when we're allowed. But yeah, keep an eye on your Zeki Squad group chats, and we will see more about that. But guys, it has been a pleasure, and I will see you all very soon.
Sometimes I wonder if you're really listening, or if all of my words are just leaving my mouth floating up in the air. I've been told that I'm crazy, putting all of my faith into the arms of somebody. I spend nights awake wondering if you stay.